amazing. It was really eye-opening.
I thought it was awesome. Very imaginative and creative.
I would describe it as breathtaking.
They're describing the play Feathers of Fire, and it's unlike anything you've probably ever seen before.
My story begins with a strange twist in the fate of Zaul.
It's called Shadow Theater. Part puppet show, part live actors, part animation, and all incredible. What is Shadow Theater?
In shadow theater is when you create shadow with the puppets, and then the reflection goes on screen, and you create the shadow theater. Instead of performing front of the screen, you're performing behind the screen, so you see the shadow of the characters or puppet instead of seeing the actual puppet or the characters.
Because of her action, and you tell me to be calm? The king will never agree to a union with the progeny of the Serpent King. How could she do such a foolish thing?
Be calm. Listen to me, my beloved husband. I understand your heart more than you do. Every pain you feel, I feel.
That changes nothing.
It took Hamid more than 4 years to create Feathers of Fire. It's based on a book of poetry from ancient Persia, what today we call the country of Iran. What's the story Feathers of Fire about?
Feathers of Fire, imagining Rapunzel and Romeo Juliet and Jungle Book. It's combining one story written 5,000 years ago.
Basically, there's this baby named Zaul who's abandoned in a forest. A magical bird takes Zaul to her nest and raises him. Becoming a man, Zaul has lots of adventures, including falling in love with the princess, despite being forbidden by the king.
This is the story of the star-crossed lovers that they, against all odds, they go through the perilous adventure to get their blessing for their marriage from the king.
I pledge my life to you.
And I pledge my life to you, my love.
Hamid says that shadow theater is one of our earliest ways of telling stories.
Imagine you're in the cave and you have a fire and you pass next to the fire and say, oh, my shadow is on the cave wall. So you start acting and playing and creating the story. It's probably that was the very first form of theater ever been during the cave ages when humans are living in the cave. So now cut 50,000 years later, now we have Feathers of Fire, which is very advanced. We have a lot of technology involved. We have 160 puppets, we have 8 actors, we have projections, we have 137 animated backgrounds. Very crazy stuff's happening. So from the fire in the cave to Feathers of Fire, you know, it's all different formation of the shadow theater and the different way of telling stories through shadows.
When Teen Kids News continues, Hamid shows us some of the puppets and other props that bring Feathers of Fire to life. We're behind the scenes of what's called shadow theater. Hamid is the creator and director of the production Feathers of Fire.
Yes.
Hey! Hi!
I played the rat.
Puppet!
He took me on a tour of the props used in the play.
Over there we have around over 160 puppets, like these. Look at this. See, these are puppets, and let's see what we have here. Oh, these are the nice ones. See, these are like astronomers, a court astronomer. Yes, and this is another wise man, and these are all puppets that built all based on the Iranian design. So everything that here you see is based on a different part of the. Oh, this is one of my favorite characters. This is the court astronomer, and then it has a crystal. When it comes on the show, big, and this crystal is going to reflect the lights. So it's really cool. When you're walking, it has this light that is sort of going around the screen. You see, this is Zaul on the dragon. It's coming back home, and this is another wave. The wave goes together, and then you can do the result on the screen. It would be they're moving in the wave. also we have masks here. These masks are, the characters are wearing these masks. You want to try?
Sure.
Yeah. So they can actually see themselves and then act. I don't know if it's your size or not. These masks are invented by Larry Reid and a couple of Balinese people in Bali in 90s apparently. So I'm using that mask technique for the show. And there is a 15 masks here. These are again designed based on a different era and different characters. This is another one. So when they wear it, you can see all the costumes and colors. There is a one crazy mask here which I'd like to show you. This is really fun. Come.
Okay.
Yeah, this is another mask we have. This is a Seymour mask. This is a bird, which is on the screen. Looks amazing. They're all color put together, and this is her outfit. So we have 15 masks and also 15 costumes being designed. And and also we have all this beautiful, basically background that I built throughout the production to put it in the front of the light. You put it in the front of the light like this. And again, the lights project through this, and you see all the shadow of these on the screen.
Beautiful. The light sources that Hamid uses to create the shadows come from 2 projectors. It takes a lot to stage Feathers of Fire. More than 150 animated backgrounds, a cast of live actors with masks and costumes, and lots of puppets.
And that's kind of like a brain of the show, the computer. We have over 1,000 cues that runs through the show. That's the brain.
The music was created by Iranian-American musicians using traditional instruments. Years ago, Hamid left his home in Iran. Coming to the US, he landed a job at Disney. He worked on Aladdin, Tarzan, as well as The Emperor's New Groove. With the popularity of movies and TV, why did you want to create a shadow play?
Well, it's 2 different genres. You know, this is a live performance, and also it's very imaginative. So we are not making it in the studio and edit it and broadcast it. We actually make it on stage, and you can see it, the result immediately. So it's live. Basically, it's a live animation. So I thought that would be very cool and has a good response from the people. And very important, also, this story tells something about my own culture, the culture that is usually being demonized in the Western society. So I want to try to create promote the highlight strength of my culture. I like to promote the strength of my culture that rather just talking about the politics or shortcoming of the culture.
The creator wants to show the heritage of the Iranian people. Did you learn anything?
Yeah, I think I learned a lot about the love story itself and a little bit about the culture and Iranian culture and dress.
Well, we're Persian, so I enjoyed it a lot, yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it as well.
What did you think?
I thought it was amazing. I've actually never seen anything like it before.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part, I had a lot of favorite parts. It's hard to choose. But the part where he was in the ocean, the main character, he was in the ocean and the dragons were attacking him. That was pretty cool.
What would you tell others about whether or not to see Feathers of Fire?
I would tell them that they should see Feathers of Fire because it's really worth it.
Feathers of Fire tours all across the U.S., as well as around the world. To find out more, check out kingorama.com. For Teen Kids News, I'm Katie.